So, Monday night, another time to connect and share about our hopes, our dreams, and then really practical keys for how we're going to get to those places. And what I want to do tonight, we're really talking about the challenges of the road to building what you want, building that kind of life that you want, the business that you want. It's not easy. There are mountaintop moments. We say that a lot. There's valley moments. But it's never over. So this is something I wanted to read to you by Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is just an incredible, he's not alive anymore. He was an incredible, motivating, successful personal development speaker. You should go listen. He's probably got 100 YouTube videos. They are so good. Just get you right here, which is where I prefer to be gotten. So I'm going to read this and I'm going to pass it over to DEANN. It's all about the challenge to succeed, and that's the topic really tonight because DEANN's story, I remember 3 or 4 years ago, I pull up my back office and I see this girl's got this crazy, like, I'm thinking, did you sell to the White House? Like, how is your PV this high? And I'm like, I want you to go live on our team page. She ended up making a video because I think, well, first of all, we all weren't doing live at the time, but plus it's like nerve-wracking. You don't know people and you're going live. It's weird. And her business has just had some incredible transitions. And in the last couple of months, she's been on the leaderboard pretty consistently for PV and customer enrollment. And that's a big accomplishment. So I really am excited for her to share. He says, it's a challenge to succeed. And if it were not, I'm sure more people would be successful. But for every person who's enjoying the fruit from the tree of success, many more people are examining the roots. They're trying to figure it out. They're mystified and perplexed by what seems to be strange, complex, and an elusive secret that must be found if ever success is to be enjoyed. While most people spend most of their lives struggling to earn a living, a much smaller number seem to have everything going their way. Instead of just earning a living, the smaller group is busily engaged in designing and enjoying their fortune. Everything just seems to work out for them. But the much larger group sits in awe at how life can be so unfair, complicated, and unjust. I'm a nice person, the man says to himself. How come this other guy is happy and prosperous and I'm always struggling? He asks himself, I'm a good father and a husband and a good worker. How come nothing seems to work out for me? Life just isn't fair. I'm even smarter and willing to work harder than some of those other people who just seem to have everything going their way, he says as he slumps into the sofa to watch another evening of television. But you see, you've got to be more than a good person and a good worker. You've got to become a good planner and a good dreamer. You've got to see the future finish in advance. You've got to put in the long hours and put up with the setbacks and the disappointments. You've got to learn to enjoy the process of discipline and putting yourself through the paces of doing the uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable. You've got to be prepared and willing to attack the challenges if you want the success, because challenges are part of the success. Now that may sound like a full menu of activities, but let me assure you that the process of going from average to fortune isn't actually all that difficult. Thinking about it is the difficult part. Anticipating all the effort and the changes and the discipline is so much worse in your mind than it actually is in reality. And I can promise you that the challenges you'll meet on the road to success are far less difficult to deal with than the struggles and the disappointments that come from being average and not achieving those dreams that you set for yourself. Confronting and overcoming your challenges is an exhilarating experience. It does something to feed your soul and your mind. It makes you more than you were before. It strengthens your mental muscles and enables you to become better prepared for the next challenge. We must first become more, and to become more, we must begin the process of working harder on ourselves than we do on anything else. Gather knowledge, new skills, new experiences, and discover new emotions. And it's how we feel about what we know that makes the biggest difference in how our life turns out. How we feel about the chances we have and the choices we have determines the intensity of our effort, whether we try or we don't try, join or don't join, believe or don't believe. Discover your strong feelings about your life and what you want to do with your life, because that experience and the knowledge will become so much more successful. What you may be lacking in strong feelings about what you want and what you want to do, maybe one of those people becomes so involved in the process of earning a living that you've forgotten about the choices and the chances you have for designing your own life. So let these strong feelings help you take a second look at your life and where you're headed, because after all, you've only got one life, at least on this planet. So why not make it an adventure, an achievement? Why not discover what all you can do and all that you can have? Why not discover how many others you can help, and in the process, how that can help you? Take that challenge to succeed. I just love that. I mean, there's just so much wisdom there, but it's not how good you are. It's not how kind you are. It's about, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to be uncomfortable? Are you willing to do the challenging, hard, sometimes gut-wrenching things that are required to grow and become what's necessary to be that small segment of people that really are able to live in the way that they truly want to? So I hope that was encouraging to you. It was for me, and that's really all that matters. No, I'm just kidding. And I am just thrilled to be able to have you guys hear from DEANN. DEANN's got just such a love for the products. She's going to talk to you about her son. She's going to share with you about those times of lack of belief in herself. She's going to share with you times where she's felt like on the top of the plexus universe. But I want you to see that what she's doing is possible for you. And when you open up your email one week and you open up that plexus scoop, I want you to fully anticipate seeing your picture. And some of you, if you don't have a headshot, I know that sounds like glamour shots, but seriously, if you don't have a picture, a beautiful picture uploaded into your virtual office, that's part of you believing that this is going to happen for you. So get on it. DEANN, I'm unmuting you. You're going to be amazing. And I'm just going to let you share. And if you need me to ask questions, you can. I'm totally able to do that. But I know that your story is going to resonate with a lot of people. And then someone on here tonight needs to hear what she's going to say. And if you are that person, will you take the time and go back to her and let her know that what she said really, really made a difference for you?
So, speaking of uncomfortable, this is very uncomfortable for me, and I've already told Jennifer that. Lives absolutely terrify me. I can get up in front of 100 people, though, in person, and I'm totally cool with it, but Zooms and Lives are absolutely terrifying. But first of all, I just want to say thank you, Jennifer. It's a true honor being asked to do this. And tonight, she has asked me to share a few things with you guys, and I do have notes because when I am nervous, my ADD returns. And I will be saying squirrel in the middle of plexus and completely forget what I'm telling you guys. So first, I'm going to speak on belief. And I know everyone always speaks on that. But you guys, this is huge for all of us. And it's a huge part of what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Because for me, I had lost that belief in myself. I've been doing this for almost 4 years. It will actually be 4 years this month. And 12 to 18 months ago, I had kind of hit a really bad place in life. I had a lot that had happened over the last couple of years, and a lot of people don't even realize this. My team that's on here knows. There's a few other people that know, but we had battled a lot of stuff, not in my family with necessarily my kids and my husband, but my dad's side of the family. And I'm not going to cry on this tonight. It's probably going to be hard for me to talk about, but I'm not going to cry. But so 12 to 18 months ago, I had truly lost the belief in myself. I was questioning everything that I was doing. For those that don't know, 2.5 years ago, I was able to quit my 13-year career as a nurse and become a stay-at-home mom because of this opportunity. And my business was booming. I was literally within 150 points from hitting Emerald. And my points began to drop. Stuff happened in my family. I thought I was going to have all this free time on my hands to work my business. In my head, I truly thought that stay-at-home moms sat on the couch, ate bonbons, watched Lifetime, and did nothing else but laundry a few days a week and run to the grocery store. And boy, was I wrong. I have 2 boys. My oldest is 9. My youngest is 5. So they keep me on my toes. My youngest has just started school this year. So he was at home with me full time. And, it was always my dream for me to be at home. And I really felt a lot of guilt when I would work my business and I wasn't necessarily giving him the attention. Well, then my husband works long hours. He would come home in the afternoon. And the time that I typically worked my business, which was late at night, he didn't understand if I was on my phone because I'd been home all day. I had all this free time, so why wasn't I working my business? So like I said, after quitting my job, I thought, well, I'm going to have all this free time to focus on plexus. Things happened, life happened, and over the last couple of years, I began to battle some depression. During that time, I didn't use my supplements like I should, even though I knew that they would help. I reached a point where I had kind of lost my passion, not necessarily with the business, but I had just lost that belief in myself. I quit caring about how I felt, and that made me not want to share Plexus. I still shared every day, but I shared copy and paste posts. I didn't put my personal touch into those posts, and my business suffered because of it. So I was no longer my happy self from 2 years prior. I was trying to figure out a new normal of being a stay-at-home mom, being pulled in a million different directions. Some things had really, a lot of things had happened in my family. I had lost a family member that was the same age as my youngest son to an autoimmune disease. I had an uncle who committed suicide while I was at Leaders Retreat in 2017, and I had to leave early. 2 weeks after that, my grandmother was diagnosed with breast cancer. Probably 6 months prior to my grandmother being diagnosed, my husband's grandmother was diagnosed with cancer, and I was kind of her go-to person. We're her neighbor, and when we moved to the area, that was one of the things that we had kind of said we were going to help to look after her because we were here. So I was being pulled in a million different directions, and I'm not making excuses, but I was truly fighting a battle within myself. During all of this, one time that really stands out to me is back in December 2017. Wendy, my upline, is on here, so she remembers this. I sent her a message right around that time, and I said, Wendy, I'm not going to hit 500 PV. And for a lot of people, I know that's not a big deal. We're just trying to get to 100 PV. But you guys, I joined February 20th, 2015. That month, I had like 800 PV in just that little bit of time in that 8-day period. The second month, I had killer PV. The third month, this is the time that Jennifer tried to get me to do the live, I had over 7,000 PV. So for me to not have that 500 PV, I felt like a failure. I questioned everything that I did. And that night, I'm a praying person, but I have never been one to really pray over my business because I felt guilty for it. And I know that some of you on here probably have had those same thoughts, but that was something else that I battled within myself. That night when I went to bed, I not necessarily prayed for God to send, give me business, make my business blow up overnight, but I just asked him, please send me a sign that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, that this is where I'm supposed to be in life. If there are people out there that need my help, whether it's the business or the products, please send them to me. And that morning, or the next morning, December 31st, I woke up and I had over a 200 PV order. I had got over 500 PV. I had that 25% commission. After seeing that email, I laid in the bed and cried. I called people, I sent Wendy a message, and I was like, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. And I was like, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. This was my sign. I know that I've got to do this. Then some things happened, and Jennifer kind of mentioned this at the beginning, but I have a son who started showing some OCD tendencies. He was dealing with anxiety, and I know several of you have probably seen his testimony because it's been shared quite a bit by others on our team. But I was at my wit's end with him, and I had put my business I was still reaching out to people, but I was not fully putting 100% effort forth. And luckily, we got things back on track with him and his anxiety, and he is doing great thanks to Vital Biome and ProBio 5. And I cannot talk about this tonight on here because I know I will cry then, and I'll be done. But he's better now, and really, we started him on a regimen around the end of September, 1st of October, and that's when we noticed a huge change in him. But my husband always takes off at a certain time of the year, around Thanksgiving. He takes 2 weeks off, and then he will typically take another week or so off. He takes 1 week off in November and then 2 weeks off in December. So he's here a lot, and we're constantly going and doing stuff. So I'm not necessarily at home as much, which makes it a little bit harder to work your business. And he's done this for the last several years. So December has always been my worst month. And, it's probably one of the reasons why it was kind of bad in 2017. But I made the decision this year, with his help, of kind of telling me and giving me a pep talk, or I guess more or less saying, like, wake your butt up, get your head out of your butt. It's time to do some work if you don't want to go back to work. And he said it in a very loving way. My husband is super supportive, but he kind of said, like, you got to wake up or you're going to have to go back to work. You don't have a choice. And I told him, after we had that talk, of course I got mad and I didn't speak to him. And, we were riding down the road and I kind of turned my shoulder, would not make eye contact with him. Him being the husband that he is, he reaches over and touches me on the shoulder and he's like, honey, I'm just saying this because I love you and I see the potential in you. And of course I was like, get away from me. I don't want to talk about this. And I went to bed that night and I was upset, not at him, but at myself, because I had kind of let things get the way that they were. And that next morning I woke up and I told him, I was like, December is about to be my month. I'm about to own this. I'm going to kick butt. I'm going after people. I'm signing customers and I'm going to do this. And I did. I had, I think, 2,600 PV. I signed 8 new customers that month. Now, I know in December we did have a new product that was released, but y'all, I had gotten a lot of that before that product was even released. Now, I did sell a buttload of MetaBurn because I think everybody needs MetaBurn. It's the greatest thing ever. But it really, my mindset that month made the biggest difference in my business. And that was really the only thing that I changed, other than I was putting more passion into my posts. That was something that Laura Robinson, one of my diamond uplines, had told me. She was like, go back to the basics, DeAnn. What were you doing when you had that killer PV? So luckily I could go back through Facebook and I was looking, and some of the posts that I would look at, I was like cringing, thinking, oh my gosh, I just broke every rule you were supposed to and what I was saying in that post. But like, I was being myself. I was sharing what the products were doing for me. I was sharing what the business was doing for my family at the time. And I started posting again that way and just sharing the basics. I was not only sharing it on my Facebook, but I was sharing it in my Instagram and my Facebook stories. And guys, if you're not doing that, that is something I highly, highly suggest doing. I know you think like people do not want to see another selfie of me with my pink drink, but they do. They want to see you with that pink drink. They want to see you with that MetaBurn in your hand. They want to see you with that lean shake in your hand versus a cheeseburger in your hand. They want to know this person who is going to be coaching them along is going to be that person who is not asking them to do something they are not doing. And that has really made a huge difference for me. Let me look at my notes because I feel like I'm getting off track. Sorry. So like I was saying, I really feel like getting back to the basics and changing my mindset were turning points for me. If you don't have that belief in yourself, people are going to notice that. That's the first thing that's going to show in your post. People don't want to see the copy and paste post. I'm not saying you can't use those, because you absolutely can. We have great posts out there. They are worth using, but be sure to add that personal touch to it. And I think that has been the 2 major things that have helped me to get on that leaderboard. Y'all, it had been years since I'd been on that leaderboard. When I first started this journey, I was on that leaderboard every week for probably 6 to 8 weeks. And the first time I wasn't on it, I cried. I was so upset. I was like, why am I not on there? Like, this is, and y'all, I wasn't even trying at the time to get on there. I didn't know what I was doing, but it just completely broke my heart that I wasn't on there. Now that I'm having to like really work to get on there and see what you have to do, it's crazy. But you can, I mean, if I did it, you can do it. Anybody on here can do it. So if you're the type of person who makes excuses, quit making those excuses. Don't do it anymore. Take the 15 to 30 minutes every day. Do your IPAs. They're huge. For me, that is something I had quit doing consistently, but that's something that I do every day now, with the exception of Sunday. Sunday is my family day. That's the day that I'm not the super religious person. I love Jesus, but I sin every day, and I'll be the first one to tell y'all that. But that is a day of rest. I'm not going to reach out to people. It's a day that I spend with my family. I'm not doing plexus, talking plexus, unless someone reaches out to me. Now, if they reach out to me, I'm going to message them back just because that's a potential. I'm not going to give it up. But my daily IPA now, I reach out to 5 potentials a day. I don't believe in cold messaging. I'm getting to know people. I'm getting to build relationships, going to build relationships with people. I know cold messaging works for some people, but for me personally, I'm not comfortable doing it. And my team will tell you, I never tell them cold message people because I feel like you have to build that relationship with them first. So I reach out to 5 potentials. Typically, I touch base with 1 to 2 customers, depending on, right now I have a lot more customers than I did 6 months ago. So I'm reaching out to 1 to 2, checking in on them, holding their hand, seeing what they need, cheering them on, and then 2 ambassadors. And I know a lot of times we hear, like, focus on your level 1s. Guys, I don't have a ton of level 1s working the business anymore. I'm all about digging deeper. Go after those people. Like, if they're level 2s, I don't care if they're level 2s or level 5s. If they want this business, I'm at a point in my journey that I'm going to pour into them and I'm going to give them what they need no matter what. So don't be scared to reach out to those people and dig a little deeper in those levels, because you may have a rock star that's a level 3 or 4, and it would be such a loss to miss out on them. So I know I've talked about a lot. I don't know where we're at with time, and I don't want to go over. But if you take nothing else away from what I have said tonight, please know that everyone on here deserves this opportunity. Don't ever question that. Everyone on here deserves to feel their best. If things are going on around you, don't do like I did and question and feel guilty for feeling good, because those people who feel bad, they need you to be your best so you can be your best for them. We're all allowed to fall off at times, but you must absolutely jump back on, and don't be scared to pray over your business. Don't feel like you're being selfish for doing it, because there's people out there that need these products. There's people out there that need this opportunity, and we have what they need. So we need to be able to help them. Sorry, Jennifer. I feel like I kind of let my ADD take over at times, and I have my notes in front of me, but.
Okay, honestly, put this in the comments, guys. Was that not literally like the best Zoom we've ever had? No, seriously. I mean that, because here's what you did. There's practical information, but it's inspirational. So I wrote a couple things down. Number 1, it is hard to say out loud, especially when you're talking about praying for this, because you feel guilty. I want to be successful. I want my business to flourish, because it feels self-serving. But here's the key. It's not self-serving if what you're trying to accomplish is for the greater good of other people. People aren't going to always like what we do with our business, but it is my desire that we would show people it can be done differently. And I'm going to do that. That's going to be in my daily work. And DeAnn shared something. This is the thing about when you fall off the wagon, and because we're all going to do it. I've done it. I've done it with my health journey, my weight loss. I've done it with my business. I would venture to say it'd be impossible for someone not to go through this. It's going to happen. What you don't want to happen is to fall off the wagon and then it runs you over. You don't want that. What you want to be able to do is stand back up, tell your team you're sorry, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then start getting back to what you know. If you're driven by your heart, and what she's driven by, it's her heart for her kids, her heart for her husband, because he's talking about her having to go back to work. I mean, that changes a lot. You don't want to put that financial strain on him either. There's so much that's involved in this. And if you guys ever get to the place where you're just feeling discouraged, you've lost belief in yourself, you've lost belief in the products, you've lost belief even in your ability to do this type of business, I really want you guys feeling comfortable to reach out and to say those hard things and to ask for help, because what you have before you is probably the greatest opportunity for personal growth, for incredible friendship, for awesome income, and just for a really strong, solid future. And the last thing that I really love that you said, DeAnn, I had no idea how similar we are, except you have way better eyebrows. But anyhow, so you said something about relationship, and I think that is what we're going to close with. it is really easy to get caught in the business cycle, because I want you guys to treat this like a business. If you want a business, I don't want you to treat it like I feel like doing it one day a month, because what you're doing is hurting other people in that process. They're losing belief, or they think it's just one of those little flash in the pan, arcade game kind of things. But if you're not developing relationship, if you're doing like the web of entrapment, like, hey, you want to have a play date? And the whole point of it is for you to give them samples. If you're living like that and working like that, it's going to catch up with you. People are not going to trust you. That's different than you being proud of what you do, saying it affirmatively, saying, hey girl, I'm going to give you this, you're going to love it. And then talk to them about their kids and their dog and their neighbor and the moving and the whatever. That relationship part. Wouldn't you want someone to say about you that you put that first? Wouldn't you rather that than you won Bloomingdale's? Like, honestly, wouldn't you want someone to say they always put the people before the points, instead of she buys every purse on her Bloomingdale shopping spree? Whoop, whoop. Like, what would you rather? Like, pick one. I wish we didn't have to pick. I wish it was both. Maybe it is for some people. I don't know. Like Jessica Heffley, she will win all of it, and she puts people first. So she's incredible. You should be following her if you're not. But I want you to know, DeAnn, first of all, I don't take for granted that you've been doing this for 4 years. I don't. I also do really deeply believe in you. I believe in you because I know what your heart is. You're really great at social media posting, by the way. I saw that in the comments. A lot of people really love the way that you post. And when you guys are posting, I know that it was a big time in Plexus, like maybe a year and a half, where we were all scared of compliance. It's like, don't say, oh, you gotta say that, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that. You're gonna shut our company down. We're past that. We've got really great disclosures. We've got really great understanding of how we can do this. So I'm in the place now where you say what you got to say, with the exception of it healed me, or it cured me, or it sent me on a rocket ship to the moon. Make sure that you're being honest, and just beg for forgiveness later if it ends up not being okay. I want you telling your stories, because someone has to hear it. Someone has to hear it. The same person that told their story that made you sign up, you are that for someone else. And that is so encouraging. So you guys, just every one of you send messages to DeAnn and let her know that everything that she shared, I mean, you can relate to, I can relate to. I don't know why we go through dark times. I can't explain that. But what I do know is we can use it. And when we use it, people are better for it, and we're better for it. And my eyeshadow looks really good. I just noticed that when I was talking. Sorry. Anyhow, next week, Amber Miller, she's going to be on. She is the mindset extraordinaire. You're going to absolutely love her. She's going to be incredible. Monday night, 8 o'clock. We're also doing our book study. If you don't have the book, if you haven't read it, still hop on. If you enjoyed that, you guys, I'm going to put a post on the team page with the new Zoom link, and we'll be going live into the Facebook page. That'll help. And finally, I just want to say this. Each one of you has something to offer, and what DeAnn offered tonight, each one of you can offer. You have that ability. She's an incredible leader. She's got a great way about her. She's got strength and confidence. And if you feel like you struggle in those areas, all you got to do is work on it. That's all you got to do. Just put a little effort into it. And maybe one day you could be doing a Zoom like this. It'd be so exhilarating. You'll love it. You'll put on a cute top with no pants on. Anyhow, you guys are very loved. You're very prayed for. And I appreciate each one of you. And I'll see you next Monday night. Oh, wait. Tomorrow night, I'm doing a Slim Down Success Accountability Zoom. So if you are trying to lose weight, this is for weight loss people. If you're trying to lose weight and you're doing this, please get on, because I want to talk about our successes, our failures, tips, all those things. What's working for us, what's not working for us, because I need all the help I can get. So I'll see you guys at 7:30 tomorrow night. Good night.